Good evening, everyone, and welcome to ZSR Main. Tonight we've got another match of the Link to the Past Randomizer Cabookey Tournament 2026. We've got ourselves a Losers Bracket Round 6 match between Skele and Lanabean. I'm Star, and joining me on comms tonight is Kason. How are you doing?
Hey, not doing too bad.
Looking forward to a good match, here. Jinx. So, good old casual boots, standard key sanity. We start with a sword and boots. Nothing too fancy here, but should be, we'll see how this goes. Of course, Lana and Skele both very good runners, so should be a fun matchup to watch. I've just gotten them started, so, on race time, so we'll be going right about now. There we go. Anything particular you're looking forward to in the seed, perhaps, Kasten?
Well, probably the most interesting thing for me is whoever wins, I get to race.
That is true, yes. You'll face them next.
No, I'm just hoping to see a good race. I know they're both good, so should be a fun one.
Yeah, of course. You're both very good, both very experienced runners, so it should be interesting to see how they play. Got some early money in the Link's house and a key on the uncle. Okay. There's probably hoping for some bombs, although with this being Kaz boots, we don't need to worry about bombs for the back of escape at least. And okay, first bottle. So we've got Sick Kid available when we go to CAC. And hey, Salty Cracks, base old Cabookey. Casual boots, key sanity, standard start with sword and boots, and it's keys. That's it.
Dungeons.
Oh, it's all dungeons, true, yes. I keep forgetting that, but it's just that we don't have any of the modifiers, no key drop, mirror scroll, or completionist, so pretty straightforward.
Do get a bomb drop from the guard, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's a very nice find for our runners here. Going to make a CAC a little easier for both. So far, pretty standard escape, with both runners being so experienced. Sword escape usually not much of a problem, although the guard's giving Lana a little trouble here. There we go.
Gotta be careful there. I don't wanna touch him one more time, or quick escape will get a lot longer real fast.
Cabookey is straightforward, words uttered by the truly deranged. Well, I mean, in terms of the settings, it's fairly straightforward, Salty Cracks. Whether or not the seed will be straightforward is a whole other story, of course. So far, seed, give us some more bombs, but nothing too interesting in escape so far otherwise. Skele having a little bit of a lead, but of course we're very early into the seed so far. No sign of the map, so we are missing that, as well as we did see the small keys. We're missing the map and 4 items left. 5 items, sorry.
Looks like we're gonna get to avoid the fun castle tower dip in the middle of escape that sometimes happens. A little more common if you have key drop on, but it does happen in the base mode as well sometimes.
Yep, so always nice here, don't have to worry about that, can just run straight through the back. Not that we have the items to get into Castle Tower anyway, in this case, since we don't have either Master Sword or a cape.
Yep.
Although we
and
did just get blue
not
mail.
Not enough time left to get anything you need, because looks like we have all our keys, so everything is good to go.
Yep, yeah, our Smoky Darrow Castle was on Uncle, so... Now we had blue mail in Dark Cross and Stack of Escape Ice Rod. Okay, no Ice Rod hunt. And Big Heat Desert. .503-ish escape for Skele. Pretty good time. Lana just a little behind. And Smoky to Skull Woods of not much use.
Oh, but it is nice to have.
The first one's nice to have for the front. Other than that, logically you're supposed to have all three. Don't much care about the other two, though.
Yeah.
Did Lana just skip Bonk Rocks?
I hadn't noticed. I noticed that she did a different route and did skip scouting here, but I didn't notice if she went to Bunk Rocks.
Checker confirming, yes she did. That's a Moon Pearl in there. I was a little surprised she skipped it, given that they start with
That's gotta be a goof, but hopefully she gets back there pretty quick.
I would hope so as well, because that could be a problem. I realized that she might have skipped it, because I was like, she was like about 20 or 15 or 20 seconds behind Case and Skele, sorry, not you, brain. 15, 20 seconds behind Skele getting out of Escape, and suddenly the next thing I know, she's in Lost Woods, well ahead of Skele, even despite the Lost Woods. Even despite the lumberjack detour, so...
I do see on her stream on her own tracker, it does show as not being checked, so it should start sticking out to her at some point here when she doesn't find a Moon Pearl.
I would hope so, yeah, as we find not a lot in Blind's Hut so far. Make that absolutely nothing. Couple compasses and a couple heart pieces. But at least Moon Pearl does lock, of course, all of Dark World, and this isn't cross keys, so there's going to be a... Lana will eventually run into a hard limit as to what she can do without it. Speaking of Dark World access, though, we are up to 2 out of 3 items for it, just missing the either a hammer or a mitts for the Dark World access, since we just got a glove out of the well for our runners. And Biggie the Swamp, okay. Let's see. Race game is... Oh, so speaking of Dark World access, there's that for Lana and for Skele here on Race Game, so that's going to make for some potential routing divergence eventually here. Heading back to Sank.
I wonder if she's going to end up going straight up the mountain here to pick up bonk rocks if she's noticed.
Maybe, she's doing Kingstomb here first, which makes sense.
Yeah.
And there's a Master Sword. Getting South Shore for Skele.
Okay,
and
yeah,
okay, a lot of remembered.
Hitting bonk rocks, so crisis averted. I don't know if I'm fully on board with the idea of going up the mountain just yet, even though we do have a good amount we can do. Getting a fire source or some keys or something seems like it would be ideal.
Looks like that is where she's going, or at least doing a lumberjack check.
Yeah, like having mitts and hookshot, it's not terrible.
Yeah, we can Herapod as well with our hookshot, so there's some options we can do up there. And Vicky to Eastern. So this is a mountain play for Lana, because as you said, there is a lot to do up here. Got... Well... Actually, never mind, we don't have Hera access, because I forgot we don't have a hammer or mirror. Oops. We do have a good X amount of access. We have Paradox, East, Super Bunny, Hookshot Cave, big amount of checks up on East. That's on Light and Dark Death Mountain, just no Hera for the moment. Skele back to Sank, going to check King's Tomb, and then I wonder if we'll see a mountain play or if he'll go Dark World from here. Oh, never mind that mirror.
That's a nice mirror.
Pretty convenient spot for Lana here. And Skele is going to go to the Village of Outcast here, so that could be an interesting difference depending on what the mirror unlocks for Lana, or doesn't, as it were. Might save her some time in routing later.
Yeah. Definitely could impact the choices you make, because it's going to give you access to a lot of different options that Skele's just not going to have.
Mm-hmm. And it helps to avoid backtracking too, because Skele's going to have to potentially backtrack for things like magic, K45, magic bats available to turn in that powder if they really wanted to, various other things. Got Quake here, okay.
I don't think we have.
Not that dungeon information matters nearly as much in Cabookey, since it's all dungeons anyways, but just was kind of curious since we don't have any crystal or pendant information right now, given we found like 4 compasses and 0 maps. On the Moldorm stand for Lana, nice fight, getting us the key to TR, that's convenient, and our first crystal. we've got, let's see, Rest of Death Mountain for Lana is expected. Got the Temperate for Skele out of Skull Woods, which is nice, but doesn't do anything at all as far as progression goes.
Open anything up.
Lana? I think that's the second unhelpful entrance she's checked so far. Also, check the Lumberjack House. Okay, this one makes sense for shop, so I was like, where's Lana going?
Yeah, no, this one's just a bomb refill. It's heads up to remember that one's there.
Always good to remember. I've come to Stop Sanity Seed a couple weeks ago where one of the runners had completely spaced that shop existed, and it was a problem.
Yeah, that could be a problem for sure.
But a little uncertain why she checked the cave next to this one. Not a big deal, though. Cave and Paradox, well, they don't have Spike Cave access, no hammer. And that's a little rude to find the Vicky Tahara immediately after you leave.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've
I can't imagine you go back to that anytime soon, but
I was about to say the same thing, as I don't think you go back there, no.
No.
Just one of those really game moments.
Mm-hmm. Well, looks like really the biggest prize Lana got from this was that mirror, which that could end up being a pretty big deal, but we won't know for a while.
No, although Skele's really not finding much of anything on his side, to be honest.
True.
This run had a swamp
like I was thinking
small,
if he were to find flippers or something in BOO, that would have been a pretty big deal, but with him not finding it, that doesn't do a whole lot.
No, he did find the swamp small, but again, without mirror, without flippers, it doesn't do anything right now. Woods wasn't much help either, so just kind of doing the overall checks for both runners as they trying to find their next item of progression right now. Which, come to think of it, at the moment for Skele's inventory, if he finds flippers somewhere on the way here, Ice Palace might be a kind of dubious play that's available.
It'd be tempting. I'd like to have some keys for it. At least one small would be nice, but it's definitely available.
Yep, GT small and Desert small, as well as the Pod Big and Pipe Cave.
A whole lot in Hookshot Cave. So Lana's running back across. Is she gonna go?
I guess that is that big chest. Yeah. Being very thorough here. I'm a little surprised. I wouldn't have done this myself, but I can see just not wanting to abandon a check.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't have, but I can see wanting to do a check that you know is highly likely to be abandoned, so...
Because the other thing, too, that comes to mind is that Lana's cleaned out most of the mountain and isn't coming back here until she gets TR access, so that's probably part of the thought process.
Just $5.
It's peace of mind, at least, as Skele is heading up the mountain now, which I think this makes sense. It's this or Pod Eastern is his options right now, pretty much.
And I think at this point we're just going to get a flip-flop of what the others have already done.
I'd assume so, yeah.
do South Shore and then head over to VOO, since that's really the only place you can start.
Yeah, I'd assume so. Neither runner going to get.
Oh, I didn't notice Lana did get flippers. Where were those? Those in Super
First
Bunny?
check of Hook. No, Super Bunny was junk.
Or it was in Hookshot Cave?
I think it might. Spiral Cave. Thanks, chat.
Spiral Cave. Okay, that's the one I looked away.
Whoops,
So
me
didn't
too.
think she had those yet.
Okay, so, yeah, she's got the option for, technically for ice, but I'd probably go Swamp Palace first.
Well, we need the small.
She'll have the swamp after she
Which
does a
she
village
will.
because she has
Yeah,
to go through the
that's-
portal there.
That is a nice find.
Skele did find a flute on his side in Hype Cave, which is nice. Gets us Mire area access and desert access. We have, well, we need still need a fire source to beat it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking to make a play to Zora here, grinding some money up in the cave.
Yeah. No, this is, again, with being very thorough.
Not wanting to miss anything. She's not too far off of Zora money, just need to do a couple trips in. Going to check
Yeah,
Ice Rod
it's
Cave to see
pretty
if that
close.
has the rest, which is not a bad idea, you never know.
bombs.
Not in this. Yep. And actually not grinding the remainder is just going to...
Was taking, although I think once you start grinding the money, like, you're kind of committed and you need to finish, but
Yeah, I would have definitely completed the grind, but I can see you maybe thinking, oh, I need to make 2 more trips in. Do I really want to spend that extra time? Because it's 20 rupees per trip into that cave, and she's at 478, which is an inconvenient 22 rupees short.
evened up on the crystal count.
Did catch that Lake Island is nothing, so we don't have to worry about that one, although it's accessible anyway, so not a big deal, just don't have to detour for it. And, well, there's Zora money. Where do you think where do you think Skele will go after this?
I'd be surprised if he doesn't just head towards swamp. Probably do a swamp into ice play, would be my guess.
Yeah, that would make sense given the inventory they both have here. Swamp fully accessible for both.
Yeah, swamp full clearable, decent chance you end up with an ice key, and even if you don't, like, you can beat ice without small keys or the big key. It's just the route becomes a little bit of a pain. But there's a
the
decent
big
chance.
bottleneck right now for ice is they don't have a hammer.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
they can
that's
do most
true.
everything else. But they can't do the atrium chest and they can't beat the boss. So that
Yeah, no, that's probably not happening. I keep forgetting they don't have hammer.
yeah, hammerless, keyless, ice, maybe not.
You're not doing that.
Swamp
Chainless,
technically out of
sure. Chainless is fine, but yeah, you're not going without a
keyless
hammer.
in and of itself isn't an issue for these guys, but when they also don't have a hammer or any keys, yeah, probably not the first thing. Which Swamp might have the cane or the keys, but Swamp will not have her hammer unless it's in the first 2 checks. Given that logically we're supposed to have hammer for it, although they obviously both know spec equipped, so. There's Tempered for Lana. And okay, I missed what the medallion for TR was earlier. That's Quake, so that's not an issue. Which I do assume that, given our hammer is not in logic, but we've got Pod Eastern and as well as the Mire Desert area for checks we have available logically, although Swamp is more of the, I think that's still the better density play for our runners at this point.
Yeah, not logical, but I'd probably still want to go knock it out. Probably hit Smith Chain along the way. I think if you're really wanting to find your hammer, you could hit Mire Desert area and get a few checks there.
Which, speaking of, that's where Skele's going.
That's, yep. Yeah, so Skele's probably just on his hunt for the hammer still before moving on, which makes a lot of sense.
Yep. I completely spaced what Bumper Cave was, although evidently it was junk because Lana's not going there. And, okay, Butter Sword for Skele, which is really not helpful. As well as Ether is the medallion, so we will need that. Of course, the game has the one medallion we don't have for it. Yeah, okay. Skele going to build full clear the front of desert, does not have a fire source for the back. And then I assume he'll do Checkerboard and Nagina after this. There's the Swamp Small for Lana. Lana skipping dig game, or is...
She might be intending to, like, do some kind of routing backwards.
That was my next thought. Yeah, is maybe taking the mirror and just clearing this and then backtracking with mirror for the Smith chain.
Yeah. Or she may just be saving that to do with the Smith chain, or...
Yeah, that's a possibility as well, although she's got her mirror ready, so it looks like she's back to the Smiths.
She's backtracking, so yeah, well... be getting them, just doing it in a different order. Probably so that she can dash with the purple chest is why she wanted to do that. I don't know if that's faster or not. I don't think it is.
I've never really thought about it, to be honest, so I'm not sure either.
Not thought too much about that either.
I don't know that it'd make a significant difference either way, I think, honestly. It does save, on the one hand, dashing saves some time, but on the other hand, you have to backtrack. So... And so, hey, Raiders! Welcome in, Gamachu and Raiders. Thanks for the raid. We're half an hour into Skele versus Lanabean. It's going pretty normally so far. As you can see, our runners are basically neck and neck right now, having done mostly the same checks. Lana's done the Zora area, Skele did the Meyer area. That's about the big difference between the two right now, but otherwise it's been pretty close race so far. Expecting both our runners to probably go Swamp Palace next here, just chaining the Smith chain in with it. Technically I'd have logic without a hammer, but our places for hammer are all places we'd probably look at key for first, so... Lana mirroring, I think she was hoping to flute with the purple chest, but then I think she realized that, oh wait, I don't have hammer. I'm not getting into Swamp Palace if I don't do this way. Perhaps?
Yeah, this is the only way you're getting there.
Yeah. Oh, and she also doesn't have a flute, fair point.
Yeah.
Because that was in Hype Cave, which she is going to find here in a minute. Oh, hey, there's Ether. So we now have Meyer access, although again I don't know that that's necessarily the biggest priority for our runners. No fire source, can't beat it either without a cane. Or big key. And we don't have a sneaky hammer hiding in the first two checks to swamp. Would have been kind of funny if it was there, but nope. Map and money.
Yeah, now that we have Specky Clip, that is just kind of a little humorous thing that can happen. But before that, put a hammer in swamps, one of the worst places it could be.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. I still remember those days as well, but nowadays we can avoid that. Going to see a left side swamp play for Skele, which makes sense. We're missing too many items to skip left side swamp right now.
Yeah, we need a lot of stuff still.
We actually have most of our... Well, we have a lot of our major items, although hammer and fire source would be really, really nice, I think, right about now. But we are missing a number of keys still as well. And we do see as well that we guess we must have picked up the swamp map somewhere, because we can see for both our runners that swamp is one of our crystals, so that'll be crystal 2 for our runners. And Lana spoke to the bomb vendor, sorry, so we know that Eastern and Pod are our red 5-6, which of course, that's Moolock today.
We found a lamp.
Okay, well that's our first fire source. That gets us... Eastern's now beatable in logic. We can go beat Desert. Not a lot else, admittedly. And that's our
more
mountain.
interesting thing that does is that kind of, even keys aside, that also limits where in pod a hammer could be. Because sometimes that can be hiding out in the back of pod, but with a lot of it being dark and the lamp being hammer locked, that's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
Even if the keys did show up.
Pod big and Meyer big and another pod small. Speaking of pod, and for Skele. Yeah, with that lamp being there, that does indeed. Yeah, we'll have to see whether. Yeah, hammer not as likely to be in pod, but does increase the chance of, and limits Eastern as both fire sources in swamp. Okay. Sure. I mentioned they don't have any fire sources, that they would be nice, and now there's both. Okay. So that makes Skull Woods beatable out of logic. Technically, we're supposed to have 3 keys, although neither of them care about that at all.
And there's a pod small in swamp, which is also interesting for
that's
hammer
pod
might
3.
be.
So right now, well, Flute, by the way, is our logical mountain access today, since that was Hype Cave and our mirror was on the mountain. Yep. So, that's pod 3, and that was pod 3 in swamp for us. We've seen 2 so far, the 3 so far, and the others are bottle vendor and checkerboard cave. So, that's another thing to consider. Yes, most of pod is going to be out of logic without a hammer. We've got Eastern. We could dip ice. Technically for a hammer, although that would really suck.
I'd go to pod before ice, like even with 3 keys, like the front is still going to be in logic, so that's still...
and it's a good amount of density.
Still more appealing. Plus you can always just
sure.
mirror and hit Eastern right after.
Oh, for sure.
Which
and
I'm
Eastern
starting to think, and it looks like Skele has the same thought, that at this point, that's the biggest density that's left.
Yeah, I think so as well. They've got other options.
The hammer could just be right here in Saha's closet, and everything's just been in logic the whole time. That'd be kind of funny.
It would, because both our runners have been skipping Eastern pod as much as they can. Nope, not quite. Yeah, London with Swamp Inn is going the same way, which makes sense, as you said. Biggest density we have left. Because we can dip Weiss, we can dip Meyer. Neither are appealing plays right now with our inventory.
Looks like Lana's going to take a quick detour over to Catfish, which is interesting.
Huh, again, we've seen a lot
of
Lana...
Bit of a cross-keys route over here.
Lana again showing that she's being very thorough this seed, trying to make sure she doesn't leave checks behind. And so far, well, hasn't paid out particularly, but we'll see if this is anything. And they did both pick up a blue potion earlier, so they can potion glitch the right side of Pod. There are 3. And there's a cane.
We know everything back here is all hammer locked because of that pod small.
Yep.
The dark turtles might not be, but we don't know yet. But everything else is.
Yeah, we're still missing too many keys. We're still missing, even if they're dark turtles were, we'd need to find 2 more keys not hammer locked, which seems
they couldn't be because they're dark turtles would require a non-hammer locked key somewhere. 2 of them, I guess you're right. But everything else, like they're all 6 key locked, and with 1 key being hammer locked, we know for sure.
Well, no, Pod Room is also 4 keys plus a fire source.
But the lamp.
Yeah, it becomes a problem.
Swamp,
lamp and fire rod were both swamp, so anything that requires lighting torches is out of logic, correct? Pyramid play for Lana,
Did not see that.
A big key, apparently. I didn't see it either. Skull Woods, which is not very helpful, but we can turn that in when we go back there, since we do have a fire rod now for it. And we'll also see the first two checks of Aga Tower, since we have that small key now. Which makes sense for routing for Lana. Skele attempting the mimic clip did not succeed. It's just going to potion glitch it.
I've had days like that where the clipping just doesn't want to happen. And if
sometimes
you got a potion,
just do that. Yeah, it's if you get mimic clip like on your first couple tries, it saves time. But otherwise, yeah, if you have the potion, just do that. Yeah, Kanan, that was about... Yeah, Kanan... out of logic, Kanan Pod, and not much else for Skele.
So what do we have left between the 2 runners? I guess it's got to be in desert at this point. On the
we
boss?
saw desert for Skele.
No, it can't be on the boss. And
can't be on the boss, we saw the rest. Eastern. Skele just ran out without doing it.
Yeah, so did Lana. I guess with a flute, like, you can get back there pretty quick, so...
Eastern you can, yeah. But yeah, it's Eastern, Eastern not including Big Key Chest, since we don't have logical fire sources.
Yeah, Skullwood's big chest is a thing.
Yeah, Eastern Skullwood's big chest, not the back of Skullwood's, but we've got those 2. Magic Bats available. We got Powder early, and we have Mirror for access. Full Fairy. Not that it was anything for Lana, so it doesn't really matter, as Skullwood's big chest was more garbage. We do have... Yeah, we can enter Mire too. In logic checks without fire source or cane, there are some limits. We can do some amount of checks in here. Ether is available, logically, because that was purple chest. And we could take a dip into ice now as well. Bombos is logical. So there's a few options, just kind of all somewhat iffy for logical hammer. Although Meyer is beatable now for Skele, I realized. Just realized, whoops. Have a cane, have big key, so we can beat it. Not in logic, but it's available.
I mean, the dungeon's in logic, just the boss isn't.
Mm-hmm. Boss
Meyer,
and left side are not, yeah.
Yeah.
Big chest of Meyer is also out of logic because the big key was in swamp.
Gotcha.
Lana needs to pay some attention here. She does not have much health from Moth.
I think she still has her blue goo, or did she use it? I don't remember.
I don't think she's used it.
Either
it's
way,
a
it doesn't
point.
matter. Moth goes down with no issue.
Yeah, very nice. Missed what the item was, oops.
I can tell you what it wasn't is a hammer.
Yeah, we knew that because that couldn't be there.
It also, but yeah, it was. I don't see anything that's changed on their trackers, so.
A CT2 apparently. Thanks, chat.
CT2, that's important. It's not something that either of them are going to miss, so.
Yeah.
Always nice to find both of those keys, just kind of along the way.
Yeah, the game has been nice on that. We don't really have too much in the way of those nasty ice rod type things. We don't have much of those today. We got the ice rod, we got Swamp Small. Okay, there's Terra Small.
Have our medallions.
We have our CT Smalls, because those can be really hard to find. Not that it matters in this seed, but we even got our Desert Small to clear right side desert. Let's see here. So Skele finishing up Meyer. I'm assuming he'll finish Desert after this as well. Where do you think Lana's going after this?
Sure.
Yeah, we've got a number of options. I could see that, yeah, because she probably doesn't want to go. She's not too interested in Meyer right now without a cane, understandably. Although she is going to take the portal back here. I think she may at least. I think doing Desert here at least would make sense. Which is exactly what she's doing.
Might as well finish it off.
Well, she hasn't done Desert at all, so this will be a clear for her.
Yep.
And that is pendant number 1 for Skele. Meyer was not the most useful of dungeons. Kind of thinking over where Skele goes next after this. Meyer did not open anything meaningful for him. Terra's small key was about the only thing in there, and they're definitely not climbing back up there for that.
We go kill the moth.
Yeah, I could kill the moth, although maybe hoping to get thieves big before that. We've got Eastern, Hammerless Ice is somewhat less a terrible play to have. We don't at least have a cane to make it easier. Which, where was that ice small? I totally missed where it was.
Yeah.
Probably? Would make sense. That... And actually that's a point from chat. Lana does not have the blue goo, because that was in Desert, which she is about to get. And our... Okay, Lady Lauren Linda confirming the ice small is in pod, thank you. And it does like a Skullwoods play, as you said, which makes sense. Just beat the dungeon, pick up the big chest on the way, and think about... Perhaps also just a bit of thinking about where you're going next.
Let's see, where is Lon gonna go? Back into
Meyer.
Meyer looks like.
Which, oh, this is gonna hurt a bit for her. It's probably maybe a bit of following logic, maybe just a bit of she's here and looking for density, but Gamma, the cane's in pod. Which, so this is unfortunately going to be a double dip of Meyer for Lana. Yeah, she skipped pod.
Yeah, no, she hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, because she went up... because after beating pod, sorry, not pod. After being swamped, she went up to Catfish, then to Pyramid Ledge, and dipped, and then cleared out Castle Tower, but unfortunately did not go to pod afterwards, so she is short a cane. Which I do hope that she goes pod after this. I mean,
she's running out of places to go, so she's probably gonna have to.
And I'd hope that she'd go there before Caneless Ice, at least. So, Caneless Hammerless Ice. Yes, Moth's down for Skele. Which we are at 2 out of 3 pendants. Not that that matters much, because Skullwood is very out of logic. Well, where's Skele walking to? Because he's walking out of Skullwoods here. Magic Bat, maybe? Nope. Oh, I guess he didn't do check bumper ledge earlier.
Heading over Graveyard Ledge, got another new check.
I want to say Lana did this earlier, and it was garbage, but this is Graveyard.
I missed it.
Yeah, I want to say I remember her seeing it earlier. It's
just a
junk in any
compass.
case.
That's pretty trash.
Yeah, more trash. We've seen a lot of it recent, in the past little bit in the seed. Also going to check catfish here for Skele. And that's all that we can do in Mire for Lana. Oh, and this is going to be Zora area for Skele because he hasn't been here yet.
Yeah. So Skele's going to be finishing up some stuff we've already seen.
Yeah, going to pick up his second CT small, which he needs. Zora was the TR small as well, which is useful.
Is this magic bat? No. Yes?
I think that's about the only thing Lana could be going for.
That's
so that
the
has
only
to
thing
be
I
it.
could think of that's over here.
Yeah, this has to be it because we have mirror and powder.
Right.
This is one of our possible hammer locations.
I mean, at this point, it's got to just be an Eastern.
Most likely that's the answer. Yeah, we're still at one hammer check lock, not hammer lock checks. And small key to thieves. Well, that's completely useless right now without the big key. Oh, and Skele is going to go finish off Castle Tower here. I guess he just got the second small key. It's beatable, and...
Speedable, it's 2 items. One could be his hammer from his perspective. It's not, but it could be.
Unreasonable, and it might...
Something you have to do anyway. Might as well get it done.
Pretty much. Oh, no. Oh, actually, good play from Gamma. Yeah, CT2 can't be Lamp hammer because Lamp is hammer locked, right? Looks like this is pod for Lana, so that's good for her.
Yeah, this. I think it's all she has left is pod Eastern.
Pod Eastern or the distinctly unappealing Ice Palace play, yeah. No, Gamma. Fire Rod is
ice.
also in Swamp.
Ice doesn't exist. We're not going there.
We might have to soon, honestly, though, is a problem. We're really running out of things to do. And Bombos is in Logic, that was in the well.
Bombos
so.
is in Logic, yes.
Bombos is in, Flippers are in, not a whole lot else is for Ice Palace,
so,
but those two are in.
Ice Palace is not, like, logically off the table, it's just...
Terrible.
It's probably just an Eastern.
That is the most likely answer, yes. Okay, TR's our green pendant, we're not seeing that anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, I don't remember where the ice small was in PA, but I think it was probably somewhere in the back. Which, if that's the case, it's also out of Logic. We'll check that here for Lana in a bit, since that's where she's going. But we don't have a cane. We have out of Logic cane, out of Logic. We don't have a hammer. We have no ice big either. So ice kind of lousy logically.
Well, both runners have been pretty far out of Logic for most of the scene. Pretty much.
Oh, I agree with you on that. I'm just kind of thinking of where a hammer could be. Which, logically, ice is kind of iffy on that. Got some, but it's definitely not the whole dungeon.
I mean, it's got Pengator, Rezor, and Ice T, I think, are the only logical checks, depending on where this key is.
My
so I don't remember where the ice
logic
small
knowledge
was.
is a little dubious. Yeah, I don't remember where the ice small was either. I know Our tracker told us it's impossible.
Oh, we have the hook shot, so it could be on right side, I guess.
Yeah, there's a couple checks on right side. Can't be the hammerlock one, though, obviously.
Right.
And... Okay, I guess
it's
so
just in the front of pot, so it is in logic to...
Okay.
I mean, we have the hook shot. It's just less gross to get to right side because you don't have to do the whole loop around thing.
Mm-hmm. I could tower down for Skele, which reminds me that's the other thing is right now that does give us a second Dark World portal, which is not terrible given our current lack of a hammer. Lana going for the mimic clip. Very nice. And this is Eastern for Skele, which makes sense.
Yep. I think Skele's only other option would be Hera Basement. And
it's going to be a last
if that
location
key's
for
even in
both
logic,
of them.
so yeah, they're not going there anytime soon.
No. Hero Basement was Meyer Map Chest, which...
No.
That's... No, Hero Small was in Meyer Map Chest. Thing is, we don't have fire sources, so
Okay.
that's a moot point.
Yeah.
Big key to
Ice
Ice.
Big.
Speaking of Ice Palace, okay.
Speaking of hammer ice,
That's one more check in there, as Lana's about to get her cane. Eastern Big Chest is in logic, Eastern Big Key is not. So I've got 2 checks left here in Eastern for our logical hammer. Oh, I did not get the hammer yump. And... half magic, not a hammer!
ice it is.
Ice it is, yippee!
What a seed.
This is certainly a seed. How do you feel about this? I'm not sure how I would feel about this one as a runner, because if it had been in Eastern, it would be a case of, oh no, did my opponent get this like an hour ago?
Yeah.
Here you know that your opponent's going to be about as enthusiastic about Ice Palace as you are, so there is that. But it's still it's still not a play you want to make.
Speaking of plays you want to make, looks like Lana's gonna beat Skele to ice.
Looks like it, as Skele is going for that Hero Smoke basement, it looks like. Okay.
Well, Skele also has the big chest still, I believe. I don't think he
Well, that's a
went
good
back for
point,
it.
right, I
So
forgot
he has
he didn't backtrack.
2 checks, which does give this a little more value.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the Hero Big Chest, from his perspective, is in logic, because that Big Key is in Paradox. Myra Small doesn't do anything logically. And
And another ice small in ice.
okay. Funny game. Feels like there's always at least one key in its own dungeon in Key's sanity. Harrow Basement was more. Oh, come on, game.
Oh.
Fetch quests?
Hammer and ice with extra steps. Potentially. We haven't seen everything yet, but...
That's a possibility. As that's... yeah, Skele's going as well. He has run out of checks to do, so this makes...
Yeah, he
well,
has no options.
never mind, there it is.
Oh, hey, look, a hammer.
Puts everything back in logic, and what are we missing for Gomu now that we finally have that?
We definitely need a bow. And Thieves Big. And GT Big,
yeah.
which could just be in GT or somewhere along the way. So I think we're 3 from go.
Bow, GT Big, Thieves Big. We need another pod small. We need another pod small because they both use all their
Oh,
keys.
they both spent 3. Okay. Then yeah,
yeah, because they opened the front door, they opened the back, and
they
they
opened
Harmless
Harmless Hellway.
So they need pod for it. Which that shouldn't be too difficult to find in theory.
That should show up somewhere along the way. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
So yeah, the big thing I think they really want right now is going to be that bow, wherever it is. As Lana has to rerun Ice Palace. Going to grab the hammer block check on right side that is on the way here.
Had she not hit the switch?
She did not hit the switch, I don't think. I tried going through the door and then realized I was like, right, I don't have a big key, I can't go that way.
Yeah. That's a little unfortunate. That costs a lot of time in ice.
Yeah.
Granted, probably have to come back to do this part anyway to get this chest. But
it does feel bad,
like,
yeah.
there are better ways to get back here.
So hey, speaking of Todd Ford, never mind!
But yeah, now we are, in fact, 3 from go.
Yep.
I think we can safely say, other than potentially a GT Big, GT is empty.
Has to be at this point, yeah. Bo can't be there, Thieves Big can't be there, so yeah, that's all that can be there. And Skele does not have the issue of key routing that Lana did, since he does have the Ice Big, which was an Eastern. That Lana skipped. Currently, Skele has a lead on Lana, has Meyer up on her.
And CT.
Meyer and CT up on her. Their inventories are pretty comparable otherwise, but that's a good couple of minutes here, which can be a lot for two runners who are both as good as they are. Although, of course, seed is not over. I assume we probably see some dungeon cleanup for our runners. We need to beat Meyer for Lana, TR's beatable for both now. Turning the shroom also makes sense.
Yeah, the shroom is a pretty quick drop off. Just a compass, don't need it. But yeah, I would expect to see both of them just start rushing their dungeons.
Yeah. TR's got a lot of checks. Decent chance we've got a bow or Thief's Big in there. And we can. And Pod also has a couple checks left. I'll Pod 5 on the. Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, unless. Yeah, we're not really going to find Pod 5 anywhere convenient before they go to Pod, I think, so.
No, it's going to be probably just sitting in TR.
Yeah. Yeah, straight to TR for Skele makes sense. Lana, I assume, will be going right there afterwards.
Yeah.
Technically no TR4, although I wouldn't be surprised if that's in here as well, honestly, at this point. Kind of running out of checks as a hole in the seed at this point between our runners, having basically both full cleared the game looking for their hammer.
Just a question of where our bow is at this point. How deep into TR do we have to go?
Could be pretty far here. As
I mean,
our
at
first
this point, even if you find a bow, I think you just beat TR since you're here.
I think you do, especially.
I don't think leaving gets you anything. Like if it was a crystal, then maybe.
Yeah, maybe because
just beat it.
No, because there's really nothing. Well, they're going to have to leave lava chests behind, but they know their opponent's going to do this. Unless TR4 is in here, they'll leave lava chests behind, but they know their opponent will do the same thing, and I wouldn't leave just for the chance of TR4. That is not a great play, given, especially that's probably in GT.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just full clear. I just full clear TR to the end before leaving, regardless of where bow is. No, well, it could be Thieves Big could be Thieves Big in here for bow and Thieves. Not much else in the left in the way of fetch quests though. Otherwise, since we have most of the items, guess we're missing as well. Guess we are missing as well. We've got Shovel and Book, our other fetch quests.
Yeah, hopefully those don't show up, but...
Yeah, and even if... Yeah, those would just be kind of annoying. That's a completely useless small key.
I would say half a TR ahead plus a agate tower clear. So Skele definitely has a bit of a lead right now.
I would agree as well, and half an agate tower or agate tower climb plus half
There's our
TR.
GT big. So
Yep.
GT is completely empty. Probably
Yep,
has
we don't
silvers
care.
and a TR small, and we're never gonna find it.
Yep. Neither runners care about that at this point.
Yep.
And even if Bo isn't Thieves big, there's only so many places left in the game for Skele too, is to keep in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, pot 5. You know, I guess we can now do big key chest.
Those had to show up, so. Hey, a bug.
And there's our bow. That makes sense.
And a bug.
And a bug.
Just for good
Okay.
measure.
Sure. Suppose we can go clear Ether Tablet while we're here.
I think that would be a great idea. Given how little there is left, like that Thieves Big has to be out there, and without having Pod 6, it's probably going to be on one of those, possibly in Spike Cave.
Yeah, that's another thought. They could do Spike Cave while they're up here too. Lana could, I would assume, probably will route Hera Basement together as well, since she hasn't done that yet. We do also have Green Pendant turns out a lot without TR4, so we probably don't care all that much about that on second thought. Laser Bridge is in logic, but Tranix is not, so.
Yeah.
Say, more raiders. Welcome in, raiders. Well, we're getting towards the end here of this Kabuki seed between Skele and Lana. Sado's very mean with a classic hammer and ice play, and then which our runners pretty much both last location. We're now in Thievestown Big Key from Go for our runners, which is not a whole lot left.
We got a couple tablets and Boss of Easter. I think that's it.
Well,
on the tablet. There it is.
Never mind.
Where'd it go?
Okay.
Yeah, there's like 3 places it could be, and one of those has to be a pod small, so.
Yes, more raiders. Welcome in, recurring raiders. We just hit go mode. We're just getting towards the end of the Kabuki match here. Casino's kind of mean, but we are now in go mode here for Skele. Lana not far behind, but unfortunately it's pretty linear from here on out, so.
Yeah.
I would say that unless something goes very, very wrong for Skele here, we will have a... Skele has a good-sized lead at this point. I'd say it had to be a little longer than an hour 30. We still have to we still have to run through all the back of the Thieves. They have to beat Eastern, beat Pod, and then go climb GT. So maybe like an hour, maybe an hour 35, I want to say, for a finish time for Skele.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty fast seed. We can tend to get into the 1-3x range as a possibility. It's pretty fast.
Yeah, definitely not bad for Kabuki overall. Despite the rather lousy hammer location, the seed wasn't the worst otherwise for items. And as we were discussing earlier, the winner of this faces you in the next round.
That is very true. Lana is about to get her Thieves Town big key and join in go mode.
So you do thieves first. Doesn't matter which order they do their dungeons in at this point. It's just their dungeons.
You just gotta do them. You just gotta get them done. That's all.
Yep. And that's helmet down for Skele. Looking back here, kind of just thinking about the course of the race here, since we've got not much else to talk about for the next while as they finish out the seed. Thinking about kind of what put Skele ahead of Lana, I think part of it might have just been how thorough Lana was.
I think Skele just had more of a clean sweep of the world. Lana had a bit of back and forth, doing a couple one-offs where, like, whether it's being thorough or just in there.
Yeah, and that adds up over the course of a race against someone like Skele. Not, difficult to give up much. You don't want to give up time if you don't have to. Which the side place could have paid out. It just depends on how the seed goes, and unfortunately, they did not this time for Lana. Yeah, that's a point from chat. Yeah, probably definitely one of the bigger ouches would have been that Meyer dip before pod, which made sense from her perspective. I think there was quite a bit of available in Meyer, and she was in the area.
Yeah.
It just
the Meyer dip,
with a
also,
beatable desert. It just
also the having to loop around a second time through Ice Palace, that cost probably a couple minutes.
For sure, yeah, because Skele was able to just do a quick second trip in for the camera chest on right side and bail.
Yep.
What happened to Lana's screen?
Oh, it's mosaic blind. You hit the mirror right as you start the fight, and then it makes the fight a lot harder to watch.
Haven't seen that glitch before, I don't think. Not that it makes much of a functional difference, as we can tell here. Nice fight for Lana. Just interesting to see. Well, this is Pod Eastern for her and Thieves for Skele. And Lana will still have a decent time too if she finishes this out.
Yeah, this is gonna be quick for both of them for sure.
Yeah, still I think sub 140 for Lana despite the time difference. Might be close, but Okay, and here's blind for Skele. Lana coming up on Helmasaur. Blind with a joke about fog today. Oh, it's kind of funny to see what pun blind decides to make for the day. Yeah, that's Crystal 7 for Skele here.
Just a quick trip up GT left for Skele here.
Yep, should be pretty quick here. We've got no silvers, not that they care, but we've got everything else you could want for the climb at this point. 13 hearts,
Yeah,
red mail, butter, half magic.
Pretty comfy climb coming up for both of them.
For sure. Lana almost done with her last crystal as well. Almost Knight's getting away a little bit from Lanabean, but there we go. And Lana going for GT as well. This makes sense, since with her route, she can just mirror at top of Pyramid to finish Aka Tower out. Saves time over running over there on foot.
Running there on foot is just going to lose time, so you're always going to do it after GT.
Yeah. It's been so far a pretty decent GT climb for Skele. Missed the one cycle on land most, but otherwise hasn't had any major issues.
Pretty uneventful, which, again, given Red Mail Butter Sword, not expecting any drama here.
No, not particularly. Grabbing the fairy launches here.
Bit of a geometry test here for Skele.
One, 2, 2, 1 looks like it's going to be the case here
Yeah,
for Skele.
hit with all three in that third phase, but unfortunately,
Game said no.
one of the two were so close together. The game's just like, yeah, no, that doesn't count.
Yeah, game likes to be rude sometimes. That's Ganon here for Skele. Again, making some comments about dietary nutrition today.
Be able to find out where our silvers actually were and why it's GT.
Odds are almost very high that they're in GT. There's really not much left in this seed besides that.
There's just nothing. There's nothing left. Pyramid Fairy, maybe, or Bombo's Tablet, but yeah, that's
Pyramid
about
Fairy, Bombo's Tablet, back at Thieves Town. Yeah, that's about it. Couple one-off checks here and there. Could be the pet, I guess.
Pod.
Oh, Pod Big Key Chest, the one thing we didn't do. That's rude, game. Not that either runner would have done it. With 3 keys, you usually, when they both went the first time, they both used it on Harmless Hellway to make rounding the back nicer. But that is weird.
Couple spins left here.
And that's that. GG's here to Skele.
Getting an official race time of 1:35:11.
GG. And we do see that immediate forfeit from Lana as well. GG's to her. And both our runners will.
Both runners.
And both our runners will be joining us for an interview here shortly. So I'm gonna runners to join the voice call so I can tune them in, and probably taking a bit of a quick break before they join as there's Skele. Hello, Skele. GG.
Hello. Thank you.
Congrats on
So
the
did you
win
have fun
here.
looking for that hammer?
That was weird because obviously that's like a really bad spot for the hammer. But at the same time, it felt like it gave me enough other stuff that I wasn't really missing it that badly. Like I was still able to clear a lot of stuff efficiently anyway.
That makes sense.
GG,
Here
Lana.
is GG's to Lana as well, joining us for an interview.
GG's.
GG.
GG, Skele.
GG.
So we were just talking, Lana, just before you joined us. What did you think of that lovely hammer we got today?
That I should have listened to my gut and dipped Ice Palace, and I was down there with like no keys and but the ability to go in. I was like, I should go into ice, my hammer's there, and I didn't listen to myself. And then when I did finally go in, I didn't hit the switch, so I had to mirror and go out and go back in. So yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it wasn't great. Now, both of you
It's
guys
never fun having to do a second loop through ice.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys both ended up just about our last location to get at the same time.
I was having
Makes
a
sense.
minor panic attack because I couldn't remember where Bombos was. So as soon as I stepped into ice, I was like, "Oh crap, is this even in logic?" But I mean,
Yeah, the rest of
obviously it
your
was.
fire wasn't. Yeah, Bombos, I forget where it was, but yeah, Bombos
0,
was
0
the
in CAC, so.
one key there that
Okay.
that did
Okay,
let
cool.
you get in.
Yeah, because the only other thing I had was Magic Bat, but I was like, that's way too annoying to do without the hammer, especially when I probably
Yeah.
want to do hammer pegs later anyway, which I didn't, but
Yeah,
was
Lana
probably
did
going
have
to.
Magic Bat. That was your Stevestown small key. Which, of course, that was completely useless because hammer was one of your last items needed for go mode.
Yeah.
Yup. And then TR provided the last two things.
Yep. Yeah, because it was you both got your hammer, you went dungeon rushing, and that was it.
Yep. As
There's
long
a-
as you don't skip Bombostat or Ether Tablet, you're good.
Yeah.
I
There's a
mean,
bow
because
and
you come out
pod.
of TR with the book, it made sense to just go grab the tablet after, so. That's because you really didn't have a lot left in the game at that point.
Yeah. Did you get the bow and pod? I just heard about it from Ganon.
No.
Yup. It's the no wait,
Okay.
I didn't get the bow and pod. I got the bow and G and TR. That's it.
Okay, yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Apparently, silvers are on the big heat chest of pod, Lana.
Oh well, you go in there in go mode, you're not gonna touch that. So I mean,
Yeah.
like you go in there the first time, maybe you do that instead of big key or instead of harmless. But like with the big key, I don't see you skipping harmless over that.
I think you would
No,
need to
both of
have
you.
4 small keys to really have a chance to do that. Because like if you're going in there on 3 keys, I don't see a world where you're going to open that before going to the back. Just because
Yeah.
what if you get the ability to beat the dungeon while you're there? You don't want to have already spent the key right in the front.
Exactly.
I knew like going into pod, I knew there wasn't much of a chance of beating it. I was like, maybe I can get a hammer, and then I get the ice small. I'm like, well, guess I should have gotten ice. And then I got the Samaria and go, well, guess I should have gotten ice. Oh lordy, I could have had the hammer like half hour earlier than I got it. That felt so bad.
Oh yeah, mitts were early. Flippers wasn't terrible.
Everything was up on Death Mountain. Like you get early out of logic access, you go up there and you're just like, oh well, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it was fun trying to piece everything together. Like being able to full clear swamp with no hammer was nice. Full cleared mire when half of it was hammer locked. That was also nice.
Yeah, we spent a decent chunk of the mid game discussing where the hammer couldn't be, since both your fire rod and lamp were hammer locked. That helped narrow down quite a bit.
Yeah. Yep, it was like CT2 can't have it, but CT1 can. Guess I'm going in.
Yeah, right.
And then you get the fire rod around that time, so you're like, well, you do what? Pyramid, you get your skull big, you go into skull, you get disappointed, you do all this other stuff before finally going to ice, and you're like, well, I'm just gonna Zelda Eastern and not touch it, so we're just gonna wait on that.
Okay, yeah, me too. I was worried about that. Like, what if it was just in Eastern the whole time? That made me nervous.
Yeah,
maybe.
no, both of you left
We were
it
certainly
for
thinking
late.
like it's just going to be sitting in there, and whoever gets there first is going to be ahead, but feel bad because you were both dodging it pretty hard. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
obviously they just went here, in the first 25 minutes of the game and have had this forever. But nope, you both put it off and kind of was on your route through last locating at the end.
Oh yeah, probably at a
Mhm.
pod small. I imagine that'd be it.
No, actually, Eastern had did not have a pod small. According to my notes, it had Skullwoods small and the Eastern Ice Big, which was totally useless, and half magic.
Oh,
So
all right. I figured most of those would be, well, ice big, but not ice big. But I figured like half magic and silvers would be in GT. But I only just finished Aga 2, so I still had to go to Aga 1 before I even went to Ganon. So I was a few minutes out.
yeah.
I gotcha.
One thing that dinged you notably, Ilana, was aside from the 2 trips through ice, was that you did Mire before Pod, which unfortunately resulted in a double dip of Mire for that cane.
Yeah, which doesn't feel terrible, right? I mean, like, there are worse dungeons to double dip, and
Yeah,
Mire's
of,
quick to
of
get
all
back
the
to.
double dips, out there, Meyer is probably one of the friendlier ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, for
knowing
sure.
with as little that was available, knowing Hammer was probably an ice, if not Eastern, like forgetting to hit the switch before proceeding in ice hurt more.
Yeah,
Oh yeah. And it made sense for you to dip Mire at the time because you went to the mountain before the Mire area, so you had Mirror to beat Desert, and you might as well just take look in Mire while you're there. Skele didn't have Mirror at that time, I want to say, because he went Mire and then Mountain.
Got it.
Uh, I had
But
mirror. I didn't have a fire source though, so I
oh,
couldn't
that's
beat
what
the
it.
boss.
Right. Okay. Sorry. Got my order of operations mixed up. Yeah, you ended up having to double dip at Desert because you didn't have the fire source the first trip around.
Which also doesn't feel terrible because you get a mirror there and you're right at the back of desert. So it's like most of the time you're not going to forget you don't have a fire source and go to the back of the desert. Then it feels bad, but otherwise, like unless you have no flute and just the book to get in the desert, it doesn't feel too bad to go back in a desert either. To be honest, it's like
Yeah,
if you're
no,
gonna like double dipping the desert / my area is probably the least of like the feels bad double dips, I guess.
Yeah, I would generally agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the main part that just crushed me was just not going to ice when I wanted to. Even before doing Zora, I was like, going to ice, going to ice, going to ice, and I didn't. And yeah, like imagine going to ice like 35, 40 minutes earlier and going, oh, that was a good play. All right, well, and then you just follow that into go mode because that's all you're missing is hammer, bow, thieves big, I think.
Yeah, I guess I need another pod small, but those
so
Oh, right, yeah. So you're still
Yeah,
clearing a bit, but your GT big is like right on the way. I think that was Meyer.
it was in TR, I want to
Was
say.
it
something
TR
along
Crystal Roller, I think,
Was it
is where
TR?
it
That's what I
was.
want to say. Yeah,
Oh,
it
I
was.
thought
Yeah,
it was
it's
Meyer.
Crystal Roller.
No, I think we remembered. I remember we were discussing after Hammer what we were missing. It's like Thieves big, TR big, Bow, Pod 4. Oh, never mind. They're all the way. Cool.
Yup. Yeah, just order of operations, right? You don't listen to your gut. That's what I tell my mentees in the mentor tournament. It's like just follow your gut, and you'll be right sometimes. And I didn't follow. I didn't follow my gut, and I paid the ultimate price today. So it's what it is.
I mean, that's how rando goes, for better and for worse. Sometimes it pays out, and sometimes you're like, gosh dang it, I shouldn't have gone here. Why did I do this again?
Yeah, I felt bad in pod until I got Samari, and I was like, well, could be worse. I'm going to ice, so and then I find the hammer, and I'm like, cool, I guess. Oh wait, no big heat, right? Guess I'm mirroring.
Yeah.
Oh lordy, yeah, the seed was fairly friendly to be honest. There really wasn't anything terrible. Like going into ice for the hammer is the worst of it, and that's like you got early mitts, you got early fire rod or bombos to get in there, so it's really not a tough decision to be like, okay, well, I could take a chance on going into pod and finding a bow and a hammer, or go into Ice Palace where the hammer it's just going to be there. And there it is. It's rando, just randos, and it happens. I don't feel too terrible about it.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes, but GG's.
GG's, Skele. Good luck moving forward, and thank y'all for the restream. And you guys are all amazing. Thank you for putting this together, and good luck in the tournament, everybody.
Yeah, thanks. And ditto. Thanks for the restream, everybody.
Yeah, any last thoughts, Keyston, before I take us out of here?
No, just GG's to both runners, and I guess Skelly, I'll talk to you soon since I think you're heading my way on the bracket. So
That's
that'll be fun.
That's right.
But yeah.
That is correct. Yep, you're facing each other next in Losers Round 7, so good luck to you both on that one. Should be a fun one to watch.
I may have to commentate that if you race during a time I could do it, but otherwise, if it's during the week, good luck. If it's during the weekend, maybe I could do it.
Figure it out.
I'll figure that out, yep. GG's again, and could give our runners a follow here, Skele and Lanabean, as well as thanks to Kazin for joining me on comms and for being one of the admins of this tournament. Always a hard job. And thanks to Lady Laura Linda for doing the tracking tonight. That is going to be it here for us tonight on CSR. We do have more matches coming up tomorrow. Notably, we'll have a Cross Keys tournament match at noon Eastern between Wallkicks and Nilson Alex. And an hour later, we'll have winner semis for Cabookey. Here's Gamma versus Zelda. It's going to be a really good matchup. That'll be at 1 Eastern. So Cross Keys will be on ZSR main. Cabookey... Gamma Zelda will be on ZSR 2 as of right now, pending potential changes depending on tomorrow's schedule. But that's what we're looking at, and plus we've got plenty more matches coming up throughout the week. We've got more Krauskis, more Cabookey, and more everything else. Now, for now, that's going to be it here for us tonight. We're going to read over to Zeldathon. They're doing a charity stream on behalf of St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, so we'll see how they're doing with that. Thanks for watching all, and have a good night.